I think by default, something that I do is give a little backstory or a bit before every song that I perform because I feel like having some context is really important. So maybe like putting them in my shoes is something I try to do so that they connect more to the song because it's original music, so they have no context as opposed to cover music.
Well, as part of the NCPA's commitment to promote independent music, here comes a fabulous night. NCPA presents Planet Indie, Shrae, and the Quartet Life Crisis. Friday, September 6th at the Experimental Theatre, 7 p.m. Tickets are live now at Book My Show as well as at the venue, which is the National Center of Performing Arts. I have Shrae here with me. Hi, what's up? How are you?
Hi, I am good, down with the flu, but I am very, very excited for the show. It's honestly something I'm really looking forward to.
You know, for somebody who started off listening to pop and soul music, I believe you've gotten very much into jazz. Was that a natural progression, or did you come across some artists or bands that you were playing with? Where did the jazz influence come from?
Music school. So I went to NMIMS School of Performing Arts, and I obviously came from like a pop soul. I grew up listening to a lot of ABBA, Boney M, Bryan Adams because that's the music my dad was a big fan of. So I was exposed to and sort of pushed to do all genres in music school. Like I was pushed to go beyond my comfort zone. So that's how jazz happened. And initially it was very scary, but as and when I was encouraged to do more jazz, I fell in love with it. I was like, this is something I relate to. This is something I really love singing. So yeah, that's how jazz happened in music school.
So, a lot of people would describe your music as genre fluid, not sticking to one particular genre. Is that what we can expect out of Shrae and the Quartet Life Crisis' performance? Genre fluidity that night. You'll be going in from maybe pop to rock to jazz standards.
Precisely, not rock so much, but R&B, neo soul, blues, jazz, a mix of all of this. If you do listen to any of my music that is out, you'll hear influences from all of my favorite artists put together in one song. So that's why I like calling myself genre fluid because I feel like I can't really cap myself under one genre because there's just so much music to explore, to listen to, and my influences, my songwriting comes from a lot of my influences. And yes, so I believe it's going to be an evening of a lot of unexpected changes, be it rhythmic changes or be it jazz changes or be it genre changes. But I do guarantee a good time despite all the changes in the genre.
Fantastic. Now, you know that it's different strokes for different folks. Artists are an emotional, sensitive breed. People like Bob Dylan would do an entire concert without even interacting or bantering with the audience. The other end of the spectrum, you have Bruce Springsteen, Bryan Adams, and even Taylor Swift now amongst the current generation, who loves telling stories, exchanging bits, and talking. You, I believe, love to do a bit of that, which is banter with the audience. My question to you is, when do you know, Shrae, that this is the right time to actually talk to the audience? When you feel a lull or when you feel a high? Or both?
I think by default, something that I do is give a little backstory or a bit before every song that I perform because I feel like having some context is really important. So maybe like putting them in my shoes is something I try to do so that they connect more to the song because it's original music, so they have no context as opposed to cover music, right? So when I'm doing like jazz gigs, it's standards, it's songs they already know, so there's no context required. But when it is something as personal as it is to me, sometimes my lyrics are very bizarre. So like people need to know what it's about, what the context is, where I'm coming from. So definitely before. But I do like interacting with the audience in between my songs also if there's like a really catchy section and I feel like people are, really vibing to it and they want to sing but they're not singing. I'm just like, yes, I want you to sing with me because this is exactly the part where I feel like you can connect with me and you can like sing along with me.
I'm just a little intrigued. We've heard of the Quarter Life Crisis. This is the Quartet Life Crisis. And you're a little more than a quartet. Because you are on vocals, you have a pianist, you have a drummer, you have a bass player and a guitar player. So
Yeah.
tell me about the band. Yeah.
So it's Shrae and the Quartet Life
Ah,
Crisis.
so
So
they are the quartet, and
yes,
you are the vocalist. Okay, the
yes,
main element. Oh, that
correct.
explains it. Just a bit about
But
the band, please. Who's going to be accompanying you?
so why the band name? It's because it's my 25th birthday on 6th of September.
Wow! Many happy
Yes,
returns of the day in advance. Very happy. And what
thank
better
you.
way? What better way to have yours to celebrate your birthday than do a gig? Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, one reason when I was approached to do this gig on 6th September, I was like, yes, like I would rather be doing that than anything else because I love singing and I love performing. So like, what better way to do my 25th birthday? Hence the name Quartet Life Crisis because Quarter Life Crisis. It's a wordplay. This is exactly my sense of humor that you can expect at the show.
Lovely. Just a bit about the band, please.
Yes.
Are these the usual suspects, the faithfuls who play with you, or is it a lineup you've gotten specifically for this?
Um, my band usually, I have a band called Jazza Fools, um, where we do a lot of traditional jazz, Latin jazz, etc. This band I've specially curated for this set because I feel like my original music, as you know, is genre fluid. So I've gotten some of the very versatile musicians that I know from my vicinity. We have Ronak Upadhyay on guitar, who's actually one of my students from NMIMS. I teach there now. So, one of my students, and he's a vocalist, singer, songwriter, and a brilliant guitarist. I've seen him grow as a versatile musician, so I was like, yes, this is the time I want you to play with me. I have Anurag Naidu on keys and trumpet. Anurag happens to be one of my oldest friends here in Bombay ever since I've shifted, and he's a brilliant pianist. Lately, he's been playing the trumpet also, so you can expect him on trumpet and on a couple of
Nice.
tunes. We have Samar Talia on bass. Again, a very new face to the Bombay scene. He's a brilliant bassist. I've been working with him in NMIMS. I feel like he has the rhythm and the groove that I require for my music. Shivang Kapadia happens to play on all the songs that are out on drums. Shivang on drums. Shivang is from Ahmedabad. He is a brilliant R&B drummer and he has played on all my songs that have been released already. So I really like how his drumming sounds on my music. Um, yeah, and then we have some surprise acts which I don't want to reveal. We have
Wow.
some more singers joining us. We have somebody on the sax joining us. So I wouldn't want to ruin the surprise, and I would rather want to entice people to come and see the show. So that's about it for now.
Yeah. So I've gotten the genres from you. I want just a sneak peek into the playlist. So what are you going to be playing some Ella Fitzgerald? Are you going to do some ABBA? I don't know. Or both.
I'm gonna do 90% of my originals. So like 90% of the
Lovely.
set list is gonna be Shrae, all Shrae music, Shrae's music. And the remaining 10% are gonna be my arrangements of some jazz standards I really, really like. So yes, a culmination of Ella Fitzgerald, Chet Baker, you can expect some Thelonious Monk. Um, it's gonna be my take on some of the jazz standards that I really, really like, but the rest of the set is gonna be entirely my original music.
Wonderful. EP for original music, original independent music.
Yes.
Tickets are out now at the NCPA box office as well as Book My Show. It's NCPA presents Planet Indie, Shrae and the Quartet Life Crisis, Friday, September the 6th, Experimental Theatre, 7 p.m. My last question is about the NCPA. How often have you performed there? Have you done the experimental as well as the Tata? I don't know if you could share your insights because the show is called This Week at the NCPA.
Yeah. I have performed there only once for International Jazz Day 2022, curated by Louis Banks, sir. So that was my only time I have performed there as one of the bands. My band Jazza Fools, we played there in 2022, and obviously that was such a great
Was that at
experience.
the
It was
Tata
at the Tata.
Theatre? Yeah.
Yes, it was at the Tata Theatre. So that has been my only experience at NCPA playing, but I've been there obviously for so many festivals. They're jazz festivals where they get some of the most brilliant jazz musicians from around the world to come play. I feel like NCPA, I've always I recently went there for the Herbie Hancock, I think in February or end
Yeah.
Jan, late Jan, the Herbie Hancock workshop that happened in the experimental theater. So it's sort of surreal that I'm going to be performing there. And I'm really, really excited to be playing because I feel like ever since I shifted to Bombay, I was like always wowed by the concept of NCPA and the efforts that they put into getting performing artists perform live. So I am really, really looking forward to it. And even more than anything, I'm very, very excited that it's gonna be my music. It's the first time I'm doing an all original Shrae set.
Wow.
Um,
And you mentioned you're shifting to Bombay. Where did you shift from?
Singapore.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. So I
Great.
was there, I was studying law. So that's another day. That's maybe a story for another day. But yes, I did shift from Singapore. And when I came to Bombay, NCPA was one of the spots where everyone was like, they have the best live music, they have the best acts coming down and playing. So from there to here, it's been a while, and I am super excited to do a full-fledged set of just my music for everybody to come see, hear, and watch.
Wonderful. Can't wait for that. Thank you very much for your time and all the best on recovering from your cold so that you're back in action on your birthday.
I should be fine in another 2 days.
I'm sure.
By 6th September, I'm gonna be great. So that's a guarantee. But yes, I hope to see you there. I hope everyone listening to this is there at NCPA on 6th September. Come say hi. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye, Shrae. See you.
There are some games which do require current events and all that, but we usually try and just take random suggestions from the audience. We literally pick it up at random, or we ask them questions about their lives. And all. We prefer to make it more about the audience than the situation, the society, and the world as a whole.
Guys, welcome to this week of the NCPA. Sunday, the 1st of September at the Godrej Dance Theatre NCPA comes an improv comedy evening, an NCPA offstage presentation in collaboration with medium-sized improv. And we're very thankful to our supporting partner, which is Bajaj Beyond. So Bajaj Beyond, thank you for supporting improv comedy, which is so needed. I have with me Sahir Mehta and Neville Bharucha. Neville's been on the show before. Sahil's a show virgin. Welcome, you guys. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Okay, let's start with why you call your company medium-sized improv. You want to take that, Neville?
So basically there are two types of improv. There's short form improv and long form improv. We do both, so we're medium sized. The answer we like to tell people. But actually it started off when Shantanu, our other improviser, randomly put up a post on social media saying medium-sized announcement coming soon. I said, "Hey, that's a great name. Let's just keep that."
Wonderful. Sahir, you're trained in traditional theatre. You've been doing lots of traditional theatre over the years. What is it that draws you to improv comedy?
I mean, all the traditional theatre actually started with improv comedy to begin with in college and things. And yeah, it was just like a fun thing. You get to not take yourself too seriously, have a really strong connection with the audience, possibly stronger than the theatre. So yeah, I guess it's that. Being silly, being kind of stupid, not taking yourself too seriously. Chilling with
So
others.
5 years of doing this stuff together, huh, you guys?
Yeah.
It's been 5 years in some?
Yeah, 5 years fast together. Yeah.
So talk to me about who we're going to see. I believe there's a motley crew of you, maybe about 7 or 8 of you that day on the evening. Tell us about performers, tell us about what we can expect.
So we have the best improvisers in India working with us. Sadly, none of them could make it. So we've got these 7 instead. So no, so there's 2 of us. There's Shantanu. Shantanu is fantastic, very, very funny. There's Manik. Manik is great, also very funny. There's Trisha, superb, funny. There's Tanvika, lovely, funny. I think you can see where this is going. But so we've got Shantanu Anam, Manik Bakbeja, Tanvika Parlekar, Trisha Kanga, Aditya Kashyap, Sahir Mehta, and myself.
So I'm a big fan of improv that draws on what's happening currently in society. Are we going to see that? Are we going to see topics which are here and now, things which are happening for you guys to take off on? Is there going to be a lot of that? Is my question to you.
So we're going to be doing a considerable amount of. There are some games which do require current events and all that, but we usually try and just take random suggestions from the audience. We literally pick it up at random, or we ask them questions about their lives. And all. We prefer to make it more about the audience than the situation, the society, and the world as a whole.
Wow. So you actually walk up to audience members and say, give us a topic if you require a topic or a theme. Yeah?
Yeah. So where he'll go ask for like a random suggestion.
That's fun. So Sahir, another thing that Neville and yourself do together is actually teach children improv. And by children I mean adults also pretending to be children.
Children at heart.
Through your Sandbox Creative Academy. So one thing is doing improv, the other is trying to teach it. I mean, can it really be taught? Or do you concentrate on certain instincts that you can develop for improv comedy?
I definitely think it can be taught. I feel like comedy can be broken down into a bit of a science of why something is funny and why it makes us laugh and things. But in terms of like, as you said, the instincts, you help hone sort of collaborative instinct, sense of wanting to work with the other person, not coming up with your own sort of preconceived idea of what you can do. And then it makes it a lot easier. Your brain also relaxes. If you have the whole burden of, yeah, I'm going to have to make up a whole scene on the spot, I don't know what it's going to be, that's difficult. If it's a lot more, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to look after the person who's in the scene with me, they're going to look after me, and slowly we'll figure out what it is. So I think, yeah, you're mainly teaching their mind to relax and focus more on the other person. It's a lot of listening, it's a lot of trusting, and those are things that you can work on and teach. And
that's very interesting that you would say that, because I've seen actors in the theatre who are just masters of the text, which is the script that is provided to them. But sometimes when you bring them off stage and you just throw them stuff, they come up a cropper. But you're saying, are you in effect telling me that anybody can do improv, given that they understand certain basics? Or do you think it's only for a certain personality type?
Actually, everyone should do improv. It just makes them a better person.
I think anyone could do it. I think anyone could act as well. I think it's mainly just about quieting the really self-conscious part of your mind. So it is something. Some people naturally be a little better at it. Some people might be quicker and sort of have more punchlines and things. But anyone can do improv. It's just about telling the story.
Interesting. And to be able to trust all these people, which is Trisha and Shantanu and Manik, I imagine you would have to rehearse a little bit. Have you done a fair bit of rehearsal?
Yeah.
We would tell people we have. No, but this show we've definitely done more rehearsal for this show already than we have in the past year and a half, I would say.
But I mean, like the group's been together for like 5 years, and we do almost a weekly show.
Yeah, we perform.
So you can just show up and be comfortable with each other, because you've been doing this. It's like a weekly routine.
Yeah, but we still should practice.
I live with Manik.
Yeah,
so the two of us will be fine at the very least.
Your flatmates. So tell me a little bit about what we can expect. I know you would say expect the unexpected, but certain staples, or at least the flow of it, on the 1st of September.
So what's going to happen? We're going to come out. There's going to be a lot of claps, we hope. Then we're going to...
You've decided the audience reaction, not what we're doing.
So we've decided that the audience must clap. That's the first thing. We're going to do a whole bunch of short form games that you'd normally see on a show like Whose Line Is It Anyway? And all those games are, while the games are pre-decided, how we play the game or what the game is about, it all comes from the audience. So where we are, so we'll ask, can we have a location from the audience? Or can you tell me a relationship between two people? And then we will be those two people, or we would be in that location. So everything is based on the audience suggestions. We have a little bit of the short form improv, and then a lot of long form improv, which is kind of newish to Bombay and to India. It's not as widespread and as well known. It's more popular abroad, and usually that's more of like a improvise. It's more of an acquired taste, but we're kind of doing the fun stuff to make it a little more appealing to people who don't know improv, who are probably coming to see improv for the first time.
Yeah, and that's like a whole narrative just based on a few suggestions from the audience. But you see like a whole story. It's
It
like,
goes on for like 20 minutes. We take a couple of suggestions and we're like, okay, now you don't have to say anything for the next 20 minutes. We'll take over.
Formal training in the form of what you guys have been through. Sahir as an MA in acting from the world-renowned Bristol Old Vic Theatre School. Neville's been to a bunch of places. He's learned from UCB in the Second City in New York City and with the Maydays in the UK. Do you think we need, I mean, not just a Sandbox Creative Academy doing workshops at various places, including the NCPA Summer Fiesta, but do you think we need institutions which teach improv comedy for it to become more of a culture in India?
No, then less people will come to the sandbox. We only need the sandbox.
Spoken straight from the heart. Because right now it looks as though the guys who've seen Whose Line Is It Anyway and tripped on it like us in this room or this Zoom room, automatically gravitate towards either watching it or doing it.
Yeah.
But to have more people do it, I mean, it's a serious question. Sahir.
Yeah. I think sort of like for proliferation to happen, you need it to feel more accessible. It needs to feel like something I could go and do. And I think it's an Indian thing to be a bit swayed by a degree or having like a formal education. So even just having an audience trust that this is a show worth watching, they have a degree. Or may not be a doctorate, but they've studied it is sort of useful. Getting a little trust from the audience.
Put the degree out.
As long as it gets the audience into the Godrej theatre.
Yeah. Instead of posters, we're just
just holding degrees outside.
What is the one thing that you tell young kids who are about to do improv comedy when you're dumbfounded on stage? When something happens, even if you have trust with your comrade or your partner who you're performing with, something happens and it just leaves you dumbstruck. You don't know what to say.
The thing I always say, and I say this in every class, I think improv audiences are extremely kind audiences.
Yeah.
They're not sort of, I feel like stand-up audiences, theatre audiences, maybe because it's more established and people go and they have an expectation of we need to be entertained and we see something nice. I feel like lots of improv audiences come with, they don't even have a degree yet, so I hope it goes well.
And certainly don't have a script. So,
what I tell everyone is, if you don't freak out, an audience will enjoy even your discomfort.
Yeah.
Enjoy the process of seeing you find something, getting stuck, and then still sort of coming out of it, and whatever shape you come out of it. The only time they won't laugh is if you seem so desperately uncomfortable about the whole thing. If you seem upset by couldn't come up with something, and then also they're not laughing because like they're actually being nice. They don't know if you're okay with this, so they don't want to laugh at you. They want to laugh with you. So as long as you can be like, I'm stuck, I don't know what to do, they'll come on that journey with you.
They'll come on that journey. Lovely. Neville, favorite comedian of all time, or a couple of favorites would be?
Rowan Atkinson.
Sahir.
Ricky Gervais.
Very different choices there. Rowan Atkinson, Ricky Gervais.
On the first of
Yeah, I can imagine what different schools of thought, and I don't mean institutions that you come from. But lovely. Guys, they're at the Godrej Dance Theatre. Lovely, quaint little venue. Tickets are live now at Book My Show, as well as at the venue of the National Centre of Performing Arts. 1st of September, Sunday. This is improv comedy. NCPA, let me get it right, NCPA off-stage presentation in collaboration with Medium-Sized Improv. Medium-Sized Improv are these good folks, Neville Bharucha and Sahir Mehta and their troupe. Thank you very much, guys. It was fun chatting with you, and hope you have a full house. Cheers.
Yeah.
94.3 Radio 1.